I just bought a new position in my dividend portfolio through Robinhood, and I bought NAT stock. And as you can see, I put another $200 or so in my account. This will count towards my $5 per new subscriber. If you haven't heard about that, I'm investing $5 per new sub that I get in one of my accounts. And I saw the NAT stock dipped, and I'll go into what NAT is, but they are a tanker stock, and I just had wanted to invest in them if they get low enough. And they went below $5, so I got them actually right at $5. I have another buy limit if they go underneath $4.85. But I'm excited about owning them. They're a more speculative play. They do have a really strong buy rating. As you can see there, 57% of people say that you should buy it. So I had to get in there. So if you don't know what Nordic American Tanker is, they are a tanker company that holds barrels of oil. So do you remember all those jokes a couple weeks ago about people wanting to store oil in their garages or store it in their barns and all this kind of stuff because it was negative? Well, a lot of people didn't really understand what that was from. And it's mostly due to the fact that we have these countries in the Middle East and in Russia that are basically feuding over oil, and they're taking a lot of oil out of the ground and making it so that countries like the US can't really compete. So the price of oil is going down through the floor because there's so much of it, and the demand is so little right now, with a lot of people staying home, especially here in America, but even across the world, people are staying home more than they used to. So these futures for oil contracts were coming due. So when you invest in futures, you invest in the price going forward, and you typically think, I can sell the future contract even if it's $0 or something like that, someone will take it. But if they come due, then you have to take the physical delivery of the oil. So people were getting to the point where no one wanted to buy their contracts, no one wanted to buy them, and they were going to have to actually take oil and ship it and store it, and there are costs that come with that. So the prices were actually going negative. So that's where all the jokes came in, that people were just going to get paid to take oil. But that leads the door open to other companies. So a lot of people don't even know what tanker stocks are, but they are companies that will literally hold on to oil, transport oil, stuff like that. But these companies have a lot of earning potential right now, and I'll go into why that is. But I did invest about $100, so more speculation than anything else. But with what I make, that's not really much. You know, that's less than 1% of my portfolio. It's about 0.5% of my portfolio. And I've gotten a couple bank bonuses this week from one of my businesses that I run, and I made more than that in just my bank bonuses. So I figured I'd throw a little bit of money in this. Even if I lose 30%, let's say, I lost $30. It's not really a big deal. But I think that I'm going to make a lot of money in NAT stock, and I'll go through why. So before we go any further, I do want to ask you to subscribe and like the video. We got about 6 or 7 likes on the last video, so if we can double that or triple that, that'd be amazing. I appreciate it, guys, and I'll let you get back to the video. So NAT has about 21 ships or so, and these ships are Suezmax ships, so they hold about 800,000 to 1 million barrels of oil. So if you don't know how big a barrel is, it's about 42 gallons. So they're holding about 42 million gallons of oil in these ships. So this is not something that's very cheap to do. So it costs Nordic American tankers about $8,000 a day in operating costs for these ships. But typically they can sell out their ships for about $20,000 to $25,000 a day. And they have 20 of these ships. So if you think they get paid about $25,000 a day, and it costs, let's just say, $10,000 per ship, and that means that they're making $15,000 a day per ship. They have 20 ships, $300,000 a day, and let's say they do this for about 200 days out of the year, so almost every other day. So they make, let's say, 60 million. So that is the rate that they typically sell at, $25,000 a day or so. And with this increase in demand for storage, they've been able to jack up their prices through the roof. Some people were saying over $100,000 a day. Some people were saying $200,000 a day. even $250,000 a day was thrown out there. I haven't seen whether that is true or not. I've seen a lot of reports for $80,000 to $100,000 a day. So they basically were able to triple how much they are earning for each of these ships in the short term, and they have kept the operating cost the same. So they are posed to make a ton of money. Their market cap is right around 772 million, and they're posed to possibly make maybe between 200 and 300 million in net income, which is kind of what I figured out through my research. And I think that they're probably going to hit that. They've had some negative quarters recently, and their price has been really volatile. Back in 2015, they were right around $14 to $16 a share. They were making a lot of money back then, and now they've dropped down in 2018 and 2019 to about $2 a share, but they went from $2 a share up to $9 a share recently, and now they're back around $5 a share. So part of this, I think, is just due to the fact that so many people bought so quickly. It became mainstream between Financial Education's YouTube channel and then through some programming on TV, some stock channels, that a lot of people started buying them. And after people go from $3 a share to $9 a share, if they bought in at $3, they'll probably sell out once they've tripled their money. So a lot of people started selling, and some people put sell orders on it too. So if it gets below a certain point, they just get out to take their profit. So if they were at $3, it goes up to $9. They say, okay, well, if it goes back down to $6, then I'll just sell because I doubled my money. It kind of just snowballs going down. But now we've rebounded a little bit. They went down to 490, 492, and now they're up to 516 while recording this. They are supposed to pay out some massive dividends. If you look back in 2016, they're paying about 42 cents a quarter in dividends. So that's about $1.60, $1.70 per share. And of course, their stock price was a lot higher back then, but they're supposed to make their best earnings in a long time. Their CEO actually came on recently onto a financial show and was talking about how they're supposed to have some of the best earnings that they've ever had. He said the company and the industry is just better than ever. They're making money hand over fist. The industry's never been stronger. So that is really good to hear from their CEO. He can't really lie because there are a lot of SEC rules on what you can and can't say as a CEO. You could be artificially inflating the stock price, and if you have stocks, that's a conflict of interest and stuff like that. So if they get back to their 2015 and 2016 numbers, we're looking at getting a ton of money in dividends. So they upped their dividend from 7 cents a share to 14 cents a share. And right now I bought in when they're giving 14 cents a share, and that will give me about an 11 to 12% dividend. And I'm not thinking about this for a long-term play, but I'm thinking 6 months or a year out, they'll still be making good money. Their contracts go for 6 months on some of them. So they're still going to be making a lot of money over the next year, I think. And if I can get it out $1 or so in dividends, I'll be happy. By then, if their dividend is up to 50 cents a share or something like that, which they pay out most of their money in dividends, but if they get up to 50 cents a share per quarter, the stock price is going to go up because people are going to see that there's a lot of money being made and that there's still some runway. And in that case, I think that the stock price will go up and I'll get nice dividends. But in the short term, I'm making 2 to 3% in dividends just this quarter. They pay out in a few weeks. So I'm going to get the 14 cents a share. I got 20 shares. So I'm excited about that. But it's a high dividend yield stock. It's a little bit riskier. It's more of a speculative investment. But I think that they'll definitely go up in the short term. I don't think that they can stay around $5 a share if they're making a couple dollars in net income per share. So definitely take a look at them. I'm not saying that you should buy them, but maybe put them on your watch list and keep an eye on them. Take a look at their earnings. They come out with their earnings in the next few weeks, and just see how you feel about it and whether you want to maybe risk a little bit of money in this stock. So I appreciate it, guys. I actually had a totally different video already recorded for today that I was just going to edit, but I threw this on there because I really wanted to tell you about the stock that I was buying right when I bought it. But I appreciate it. I will see you in the next video. Please subscribe below, like I said before, and like the video. It definitely helps out the channel, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.